never build up a bank of wine with Bay drink set.
That's not true. We could build it up. I didn't know we were building. You're just gonna let me know. If I don't know we're building, then I'm taking it apart.
Who are you saving it for?
Myself, my personal stash.
Yeah.
But isn't it our stash? But maybe.
You're right.
You know what I'd like to do one day? And I keep saying this, but nobody takes me up on it. Everybody has that one thing in their closet that they're saving for the right event.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe it's like a dress or a suit or something that you're just saving for the perfect like dinner party invitation, and it never comes around. We should just put those on, whatever it is, whatever you have in there that you're just saving for the right opportunity. Put it on and go out to dinner. Except we should twist that and just put it on and go to the park. And I would say maybe be careful with that, because some of the things that I have in my closet that I'm saving for a good time are different than what the normal person would have.
Welcome to the DANK Pod. Join us on our chaotic adventure of sharing our perspectives of what it means to be Disney adults. Like, follow, comment, and share wherever you listen. Send any questions or feedback to us at thedankpod@gmail.com. Let's get dank.
What are we talking about today?
Etiquette. Disney
Etiquette.
Park Etiquette.
Park etiquette. Etiquette at
Park
the parks.
etiquette. Ooh.
10 points for spelling etiquette. Go.
Etiquette.
Oh, there's only one T to
I feel
start?
like, but can I cheat?
Does that go against park etiquette?
No. People be breaking the rules all the time.
Where does park etiquette start?
Everywhere.
It starts at home.
It starts. Tell me more. Tell me more, Natalie. Tell me what happens at home.
If they're savage at the park, I can't even imagine what they're at home. I have to
Oh,
say it.
I was just thinking like deodorant.
Oh my gosh. You don't think BO was on BO was the top of my list. Like
Because you were like
Oh,
attitudes,
man.
and I was like, nobody's going to change their attitude from home to park, but
well, I mean
deodorant's
like, just
important.
their savagery, cutting like just being in your personal space. And when they're in your personal space and they don't smell good. Wow. I don't know at that point.
I was
What about,
thinking
like, just-
parenting.
Wait, say more about that, January.
Yeah, like, do you have good systems with your children, or do you just let them do whatever they want?
Oh, okay. So
Well,
like preparing the child for being at the park and
Right.
not running away.
Right.
I got you. I was thinking more about like getting your friends to show up on time.
Oh wow.
scheduled,
That's what
yeah.
we're
Mine
doing
is just a
today.
construct.
I said no. I shit you not. I said first thing in the morning we were talking about a book at work, and I was like, time. Wait till she figures out that time is just a social construct.
There are no deadlines.
Yeah,
It's true.
I'm with you on that one, January.
Right.
Time is a construct. It's something we made up to try to give some sort of sense of false control. But like, if you tell somebody like, hey, I'm going to aim to be there in this target area, like, and you narrow it down to meet them there, but then, I don't know, you miss it.
No, I'm still locked
They
in
never-
on the deodorant
Oh,
part.
okay.
I
You're
think
still on
that's-
the deodorant?
But that's where the day starts. The day starts
At home.
with proper preparedness.
Hygiene is important.
Yeah.
Not
So
just-
hygiene, bi-gene, see you later gene, any kind of gene you know.
All the genes.
All the genes.
It's so gross.
As we lean into hygiene, I have a science experiment.
You have to describe in detail.
I describe in detail. We swabbed because of hygiene to see which spots at Universal were going to be more hygienic.
This is not us yucking somebody's yum.
Yeah, no, this is just, I'm
No,
just
this
going
is
to bring,
yucking the yuck.
Just yuck.
Is what
yeah,
okay.
wash your hands, right? When you go to the parks, anything after you touch stuff. And then when you're done at the park, after you're done touching stuff, you can either wash your hands or bring hand sanitizer because there's some stuff growing in there.
Don't open it.
So they can
What
see
the
it.
fuck?
This is
They can't see it.
This is the spore that's growing on the gong handle at
There's a Kung Fu Panda section at Universal, and it's a very large gong, and you pull a rope so that the gong gets rung. And so we swabbed the rope, and that's
Did you
what we
put
got.
did you put the rope on your face?
no.
Like eye?
Never again.
Never
This
again.
is-
You've done it before?
Yeah, just once or twice. This is the leash handle, the spores from the leash handle at the bacteria, I should say, from Marmaduke. Right.
Marmaduke.
So this is the one you
leash.
were a little concerned about, Natalie, being where you were like, because you thought it was going to be like ropey, like fibrous.
Don't open that one. Don't you
Which
dare.
one is this one?
I
This
don't- why
is
are you opening?
At no more
Wait, the
point.
thing
This
is
is-
clear. You don't have to open it. It's clear.
This is
I can see through clear.
This is inside.
Put your hand behind it.
There's
This
so
is-
many bacteria colonies.
Look at this. These
So
are. This
the
is
other
fecal
cultures-
matter.
What?
This is fecal matter.
So that's the fecal matter.
The brown ones or all of it?
All like on all
All the
these
spores.
single colonies. That's an indication that's fecal matter
Yeah, tell them where you swap.
inside of Jaws' mouth. So if you're sticking your face, if you're
Well,
a park
you should take
goer
a
and you're
picture
sticking
of
your
that.
face,
And comment on the guys who put his face in there and told them I did a fun experiment and this is what I found.
And just
Yeah.
for our listeners who are not able to see the things that we are holding up, Jaws was exponentially yuckier than the other two data points.
this one's pretty.
Oh, so this was like in a kids section, and it was like a fire hydrant where they can just like pull and touch things. Surprisingly,
It's like the cleanest one.
Yeah,
surprisingly.
I was surprised. There's one massive thing growing, a couple of
And
bigger
then one
ones.
to the
But yeah,
fire.
that was
But
one of
it's
the
not
cleanest
fecal
things.
matter.
And then last but not least, there's a space at Universal Studios where you can drop like you know how like people like pixie dust each other at parks and leave little prizes. There's like a key spot.
Natalie's so stressed.
There's a key spot at Universal. It's called Nom Nom. It's like a pole comes out of the ground and it's broken and cracked and leans back, intentionally broken and cracked. And it's like in the earthquake zone or something like that. And people will stick like little treats in there, and then people will go search there and put their hand in there. Just so you know, when you put your hand in there, all these things are
Fucking
This is
disgusting.
disgusting. It's just, it looks like one of those tests, those eye tests where it's like with all the dots on there and you have to like pick out the number that's really hiding out there.
That was by far the worst and not one of the original thoughts, like to swab. Like, because we genuinely were trying to find dirty ass places that were frequently touched.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think I'm extremely surprised to find that the kids section is the least
It
concerning.
seems to be cleanest.
But like, kudos to Universal for probably going in and cleaning up after them.
I wonder if they're like more
Aware.
cleanly there and
Yeah.
on top of it,
Intent.
which wonderful and thank you, but also do the rest of the work.
The Jaws one is
Cool.
very concerning. The one place that we didn't swab that we talked about it at length was like the Voodoo Donut chair throne situation,
Where people sit on it.
because it's out in City Walk, and so that's like common space, and it is touched regularly.
Yeah, for hygiene. So that's kind of like tying into that. Just wash your hands, and if it's okay to touch stuff. You're gonna touch stuff when you're at the park, but like this experiment made me
Not want to touch anything again in your life.
pretty much like I asked Ashley. I was like, hey, hand sanitizer, make sure we have it
It's in my
because
purse
Why don't we just
already.
Michael it up, baby? We'll start wearing gloves.
bro, I want
Be like,
to.
I'm not with the mouse, but and then just take no.
I want to swab the railings on like the monorail or something like that too, or like the bus railings.
How many samples are you able to collect?
I have 5 more that I can collect. We're gonna go collect
You're gonna
Magic
collect
Kingdom
at
this
Disney?
weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do you have any thoughts about where we should swab? So we're going to AK, Disney Springs,
I'm gonna
and
try
Magic
to
Kingdom.
I'm gonna try to keep it at Magic Kingdom.
All at Magic?
All at Magic Kingdom.
Oh, you're so brave.
Okay, so magic. You're gonna do the Sword in the Stone.
Sword in the Stone.
Of course.
You were worried
Have
about
to.
Sword in the Stone. I don't, because you were like the last time when I said Sword in the Stone, you were like, "That's not fair. That's not fair. People
Guaranteed
stop-
touching there.
guaranteed That shit. They might as well just have turds dripping from it."
Right, but then
I think it's gonna
Do
be.
you think-
I think it's gonna be the cleanest part.
Do you think teacups?
ooh,
You have to ground the thing
'Cause you have to
turn
ground
the
the middle.
teacups.
I think I struggle with the stuff that's on the ride because to swab it, I have to pull out the swab. I have to squirt the swab.
Yeah, but
with,
you'll be
like,
separated from other people in your own
yeah,
teacup.
I could hold it down in my own teacup.
Or
could.
there's the
I believe in you.
carousel. that
You know,
everybody
we should do
grabs
test runs.
The carousel.
That's gross.
What would you say?
or I thought about the carousel too, because
Yeah,
I was
that's good.
like, or even if you do the dwarfs when they touch
The
all the like
gemstone.
jewel jazz.
Oh yes. I'll write that down. Because you go through the queue and they do
Yeah.
yes. You know what we should have done? We couldn't have got it on there because you have to ditch your bag to get on the ride. The Mummy, because there's a part in the Mummy ride where you can put your hand up on like a thing, and then somebody else puts their hand up. It goes, you know. Oh.
Wow, that's how long has that been in effect? That back in my day
hmm
when I did the Mummy, that did not exist.
Oh yeah, those things existed. The other little known
They're just
things.
not common knowledge thing.
The Men in Black ride in the queue. If you're going through the queue and you see like the do not enter doors and you pull on the handles, those are features in the queue. Like they buzz and they light up. people don't understand until like
It doesn't work every time either. Like sometimes it's every other
You have to
person
like
or
roughly go up and down,
yeah, sometimes
and then it'll like Anyway,
So just
like secrets of the park. Yeah.
everyone they're just touching.
And
all
no
that.
one's hand
They
sanitizing.
do
I
that
didn't
in
realize.
they do
Yeah.
that in Haunted Mansion, like the areas where they play the instrument.
Yes,
I love it.
you're right, and they have like the water and stuff like that, and the little by the like coffin cart thing. What do they call that?
Yeah.
Hearse.
Yes,
And like the
the
mausoleum.
Hertz cart.
Yes. Yeah. How do you feel about it? Like how do you feel about the etiquette of playing in lines?
I mean,
Here.
like I said, etiquette starts at home. And I know, like, Ashley just thought I meant behavior, but I mean, like, all of it. Like, your hygiene starts at home. When you know you're going to have a long day,
Mhm.
yo, prepare yourself. Take a shower. Don't be nasty.
Yeah.
Number one.
Do you powder up?
I use deodorant. I don't. What do
Do
you
you
mean,
ever get-
power up?
I get like if I'm out there too long, I get some swamp ass, so I got to powder up. So and I get real baby like with it. Like I make Ashley leave the room because it's embarrassing. But when she leaves the room, I like lay a bath towel on the bed, and then I sit on the bath towel. And when she leaves the room, I throw my legs back over my head and just pour the powder to make sure
I
that
mean, why don't you just ask her to do it for you?
no. And then when I
cannot.
fart, it just looks like
The
I
fact
fart
that
like a
you
cloud
were
of
like,
dust.
I throw my legs behind my head.
Yeah,
Wait till the beauty
how are you
series
gonna
episode.
how you gonna get it
They're
there?
gonna be like,
you gotta
"We throw our
sprint.
legs behind her.
You gotta
head
get
all
it in the
time."
crevice.
Yeah, you gotta get it. You gotta
I mean,
as
can
Natalie.
you not, like bend over and like?
I know
What
you don't
happens
want it on the
if you poop?
floor.
Is it powdery poop?
No, it's baby powder. It's made from real life babies.
Yeah, but if you
Jeez.
take a shit with your powder in there, that's what she
And when I
wants
fart,
to know.
it looks like a little cloud of dust.
Sorry.
Like
I thought it was just because you were walking really fast.
yeah, if I if I run too fast, it's like one of those cartoon pew pew little poofs coming out there. Yeah, I mean it's good. It feels good. You feel refreshed all day.
And it prevents chafing.
Yeah, you smell good too.
Well, that's
Does the powder prevent chafing?
Mm.
That's interesting because there's like times that I chafe and sometimes I don't. I haven't chafed in a really long time, but even like when I'm like, what's different today?
Yeah.
What is different in my
It could
like,
literally be anything too. That could just be the hormones. It could be the sweat factor, the humidity
Right.
factor.
Thank God. You know what? Knock on God, Jesus, because I haven't.
Just
like,
Brian, you're
I
trying to
thought-
knock on Jesus.
It depends on the material that you're wearing. Like if
Yeah.
it's more
Like,
cottony or
like a long beach
spandexy.
day, like coming in and out the water, especially this
Oh.
beach that we frequent. Like it's a bit of a hike from the chill area to the water, so I have to really like limit that time. So, or we'll bring baby oil to, make sure
Okay.
we're safe.
Yeah.
But it hasn't happened at the parks in like literally years. That's so good.
I
Makes me
remember
so
the
happy.
first time it happened to you. You were so mad.
What?
Little
Chafing.
baby.
Chafing. Oh, bro. Was I at a park?
Yeah.
What was it? Was it
It wa-
SeaWorld?
And I don't remember.
Because I chafed
which
hard
it
at
was.
SeaWorld. I hid that chafing so hard at SeaWorld. I was carrying the baby. When the baby was still like relatively baby sized, I just carried her everywhere. And
Yeah, she never walked.
didn't fuck. And I chafed so hard because I had a leg
I
brace
almost
on.
died that day. It was so hot. Like I
Yeah.
must have lost 10% of my body weight in sweating. I sweat so bad that I stopped sweating.
How do you
Oh my
mitigate
gosh.
the stuff that you touch when you? Because if you sweat, a lot of people sweat. It's like,
I'm sweaty.
if you've ever played
I'm sweaty.
basketball against like 30 or 40-year-old dudes, and there's some people in that crowd where their only defense is sweat.
Because they're like
you're just
slipping off.
Yeah. Now those people go to the park too, right? And they're touching. They sit down on rides and they get up and they leave like the Coming to America
imprint.
stains. Yeah.
Not the Coming to America stains. Wow.
Because they just sweat so fucking hard. Like, what do you do in that situation? Like, I don't have wipes. Who's responsible? Next person up responsible. Next rider up. You can't wipe that down.
I tried to scoot it off with my butt.
You should swap it.
Damn. Do you?
Swab
should
the
swab
seat
the
of
butt
a
sweat.
ride.
What's that?
Swab the seat of a ride.
Yeah. Is there
Yeah.
even time to like when you load up? Can you have like a towel and be like, I'm just gonna put this right here? It's not you. It's the ride. I'm just like, set this
Is
down.
there like?
I'm sure people do.
Yeah.
There's got to be
Excuse
some
me.
germaphobe. Bring your own little alcohol.
That's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie.
I mean,
Should look that
You
up.
can get the
Yeah.
little travel
So, yeah.
thing from like
hygiene
Walmart.
is a part of park etiquette, 100%.
Mhm.
And
I'm not gonna lie, I missed the time of COVID where everybody had 3 feet of space. That was worth the wait
6
time
feet,
for
baby.
me.
It was 6 feet.
Oh,
It was 6 feet.
They-
It was 6 feet.
It was
6
6
feet was
miles
nice.
for Disney. They closed that whole
miss
thing down.
I miss that all day because there is
Yeah.
nothing worse than a stranger just barreling down on you and like breathing their hot ass breath.
Right. So okay, which brings us back to the etiquette. Like, respect personal space. I understand that we're all of these lines, absolutely, and that don't. Okay, Disney says go all the way to the end. Yes, and that's when you're like actually on the ride and they're catering. You know, they're herding us in all day. But when we're in the actual line waiting, if you don't get off my fucking mat, I swear to God.
Why do you think strangers are so comfortable being in other stranger spaces?
I think they're oblivious. They have no concept of personal space
Yeah.
in those times.
Like, you're not bothered that somebody you don't know is like right like in your area.
Well, but
Yeah.
let's think about it. How, in that instance and in your personal experience, how often is it a man doing it and how often is it a woman doing it?
Oh,
So it's
are you
probably
saying the men are clueless?
to the
You
three
know
of
what?
you, it probably happens more often, but to me, it doesn't. Like, it's 50-50 for men to women. And I put this on, I will openly put this on
I feel
display
like
for
it's
when we
50-50.
walk. Yeah,
The-
well,
my
when we go-
last terrible one,
Mhm.
this girl just
Oh,
kept
no.
bumping me with her elbow and like taking a step back and bumping me with her lounge fly.
Did you say anything to her?
And there's like I put my elbows out and then she's like still hitting my elbow. I'm like, what the whole time?
Did you say anything to
I
her?
did not.
That's so
I
you're
did
you're
not.
non-confrontational, right?
Yeah.
I'm confrontational, intentionally confrontational.
Mhm.
So like, if somebody does that to me, oftentimes I'll just give them the old flat tire. I'll step on their shoe more than once
Like
too.
on the back of the shoe,
On-
rips
yeah.
your shoe off.
If
Oh,
they're
yeah.
behind you, you step on the back of their
I'll
shoe.
step back on their shoe on purpose.
Oh, I see.
Like, what's that one time somebody?
Oh,
we
maybe
were
I should
going-
use your trick.
And so here's
then
the way to
they're
make
like-
it work.
She's
So
invading
wait,
my
you
personal
step-
space.
Yeah. This is the pro tip here. So we were in line at Guardians, and you know how you go into that last room and everybody, if you've been there, you kind of know, let's get to the front of this room and then we can hustle to get to the front of the line, right?
Yeah.
And so there was a group of kids doing it. And I can see this, like, I can see their triangulation. They're forming up. They know when this door opens, they got to book it. So they start to do it. But
They're making the fine beat.
Yes. But I walk in a straight line, right? And I don't care. Like, I'm occupying this space and I know you're trying to occupy the same space, but I keep walking and I'm a big dude, right? I'm over 240, 262. I'm stout. I'm going to stay put. You hit me. Like, you know what I mean? You bump into me, I'm going to stay grounded. And this young teen hustles in front of me and I just kept walking and I caught their leg and they were like, I thought I killed them. I thought this was they
No,
popped
you
up.
didn't.
No.
And
They
was-
popped up and they were like, and they looked at me and I was like, "Ooh, geez, I'm so sorry, man. I didn't see you running past me like that." And then they were like, "Okay," and they just caught up to their friends. I'm like, "What? We're going to the same place. I'm gonna be just fine. But if you're gonna act fool, I'm not gonna yield. I'm just gonna keep going. But all the time. And if you, what were we? Soren? We were in line for Soren,
You got him at Soren.
and his dad and his kid kept cutting us off. And I will give you the old flat tire multiple times in a row. So
Yeah, you got him like twice.
I got him like 3 times. And the third time, I thought he was going to lose his shit. So the first time, I'm so sorry. My fault, man. Second
but,
time,
like-
shit, not again. Third
But
time,
it's because they're like, what is the flat tire?
it's when you like when they're walking and you clip the back of their shoe and it pops their heel out.
Yeah, like you can take their
But
shoe
like,
off.
if
You
so,
just
but
step
they're
on the back
but,
of their foot
but because he kept cutting you off.
because he kept cutting me off. Yeah, he was like
So he was
felt it
behind you,
behind me,
and then
they,
he ended up getting in front of you
they
several
do a
times.
slow speed pass, and then once they establish, like once they get just in front, they boom cut you off.
They just shake and bake.
Shake and bake. And like honestly, dude, if you were just like, hey, I feel the need to be in front of you, okay, I don't care. The fuck do I care, right? When they open queues up into broad pathways and say take up all the space, it's not because you're going to get on the ride one at a time. You're going to fill a theater, and the whole group that you're with is going to be in that theater with you, whether you like it or not. And when you go into Soren, everybody's got the same seat. So it doesn't matter if you get there 10 seconds before me, right? So I know this. He knows. He doesn't know this. But if you're going to be an asshole about it, I'm going to step on your foot. And so that's my park etiquette. If you cut me off, if you're at the park and a reasonably tall, good-looking Puerto Rican fella steps on the back of your foot,
You fucked up.
And now somebody's gonna get stepped on. They're gonna be like,
I'll
heard
I'll
about
sign
you.
I'll sign your blown out flip flop because that's happened too. Oh, jeez, I'm so sorry.
Okay, tell me how you feel about this. Are you ready?
Tell me.
Hit me.
The lines are moving,
Or cruising,
moving.
moving.
But
Flow.
like it's another like it moves 5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person in front of you hasn't moved up.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
So, I like to think it depends on how often, why it's happening. If they haven't moved up and they're just creating space for themselves, I'm okay with that. It's like whatever. We're going to the same place. I don't really care. But if you're on your phone and you're not paying attention, I have to give you a signal without saying, "Hey, I can just look at my wife and be like, oh, the line's moving, honey." And then if I say that loud enough, they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, okay, cool," and then walk 5 feet.
That's
We're only
cute.
going
But
5 feet.
what if you think that it's only what if you think that's cute? And I'd look up at you and be like, yeah, I saw it, and continue on my phone. Just because they're on the phone doesn't mean they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Like I'm one, like I'll try to give it some space, not only to give it space, and even when I move up, I'm not on their ass.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it's just like it's so
We're not
pointless.
to
Like,
butt.
exactly. I'm moving a few steps, but there's people that are like you hear them like, and that just makes you want to be like, I'll just stand here a little bit longer.
Oh yeah, no. Like we're going 5 feet, dude. It's like
Right.
racing me to the
No.
red light.
I get it all day. Like if it's at the hominy at your party and I'm sitting there, la di da, that's a whole other.
You know what gets me? Which is
What grinds your gears,
what
Ashley? Tell me now.
The scenario was not exactly the same, but it was similar. It's when you're at a park or you're at a restaurant and you're ordering and you're doing your thing and you're going to check out, and then you're surprised about the payment. Like you're not ready.
You didn't know it's expensive? Or were you
No,
throwing
no,
it
like
Oh,
they're
like they
not
don't
ready
have the
with their
wallet
They
form
don't
of
have their
payment. They're
card.
digging through
Right.
their bags, like
Oh, like they didn't know
searching
why they
for
were
their
in line.
partner. Like I am always going to be prepared to pay for something because that is not going to be the
Where
thing.
did that happen?
It happens all the time.
No, it happened at Universal.
The
We got
drive-through
in-
it happens, and the drive-through all day.
Yeah, we got in line. to
January has made me a better person for that. She'll be like, "Get your
get
card
ready.
out." I'm like,
Get your card. Oh,
"Calm
we
down."
were waiting in line to get in at Universal Studios this weekend, and there was a guy with like one kid, and he kept looking over his shoulder and would creep up, look over his shoulder, and creep up, and it was because the rest of his party wasn't there, and he thought, I'll just go stand in line, and when she gets here, we'll all go in together. But he got up there and he got to the next position, and she wasn't there. I was like, let's go figure it out, right? But he looked and he grabbed his family and he said, she's not here. Let's get out of line. And we all just moved. It went fluidly. We all moved forward.
Consideration. The thing
Yeah.
is that so many people when they're at the park, they're just
Mm-hmm.
there's a lack of consideration. Everybody wants to get there first. Everybody wants to move everybody up the way. It's really, it can be frustrating, especially like, and children. That's more annoying. Like if it were children, fuck, they're learning. But when it's grown adults, it's like, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Now you have fucking 5 kids that are gonna grow up to be just like you or worse. Oh god,
Yeah.
Probably worse. What about the race to get into the line? So like
Walking
when
and
you're
stopping,
just to get in, like if you have you ever
like
have
in a
like
walkway.
yeah, like just so let's say you're trying to get to the entrance of the line, the entrance of the queue, and you're coming from the right and the other person's coming from the left, and you both have parties of however many people, and then you get to the merge point and they like intentionally cut you off. This is one of my favorite things to do because I let them imagine that they've won, but what they don't realize is that when we go to Universal with our Universal crew, one of us is a very fast walker.
Is
and
that
we'll
you?
No. I'm
You're
I
so
don't give a
tall.
fuck. I'm just tall. Yeah. He will get in there and he'll like, I just know he's doing the work for me. This is cool. And what happens is when they all reach the dead spot in the ride where everybody's in the line, where everybody
They're like-
is stationary, I walk past the people in front of me and I say, excuse me, I just want to rejoin my party. Because
Yeah,
they don't
good job.
they
Right.
thought they won, but I'm just like, I'm casually just walking behind them for like 6 switchbacks, and then when we stop, I'm like, I'm just gonna rejoin my party. My wife is in front of you. Thank you so
Something
much.
similar happened when we were on Tron and we were waiting in line, and like there's that little like the locker, right? Everybody
Mhm.
and so I'm already like, we were in front. By the time we get the locker space and all that, everybody's like, oh, I'm getting ahead.
Mhm.
And there was this family that they were very rushed, and like we're about to get on the ride. Just simmer down. They were very rushed.
So
Mhm.
And, like,
rushed.
I had to tell my friend's
Huge
son to be like,
hurry.
okay, like come here, Bobby. Like let's just let them go because And then like, I felt so good to just watch it happen because then they're like, sir, your hat's got to go in the, and then he was like, oh, so he took it off and like tried to hold it to his side, but they all had like different things that they needed to put in the locker. So then they're like frantically trying to get to it, and I'm like, come on, let's go. Just went right by them.
And they're like shouting out. They're like, hurry up. People are getting ahead of us.
Oh.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, because at one point, and it was, I don't know if they were a part of that family or not. And I instantly regretted it. It was in an effort to like help you chill and not spaz the fuck out. Because she was asking about her phone. And I was like, there's a little cubby on the bike. And then for what was that? Because she was like, oh, if there's a little cubby, what was the stuff in the locker? Bitch, I said a little cubby, not a fucking locker. But I sat there waiting quietly, and that's when I just like, okay, and then the workers handled it.
I like to imagine that people are smart enough. They've survived this long without me. When we get to the parks, they're gonna do their own thing.
I just wonder how they even survive in life.
Yeah,
The same way.
Yeah. Here's what gets me. Here's what grinds my gears.
What grinds your gears?
The people, and this has to. I'm sure. I would imagine that everybody agrees with this, unless you're one of these people. The people who are walking down the main thoroughfare and fucking stop.
Oh, just bah, like
Bah.
notes.
Bah. And maybe they're going to regroup. They're going to check their phone. They're going to look for their form of payment for the Dole Whip. But they are in the middle, and they're just like they're the only. It's their park. They're the only one. It's like who? Do you stand in the middle of the fucking street at home on the yellow line? No, you don't. Move off to the side when you're.
That's not where you stand.
Put your
That's
fucking blinker on and get off to the fucking side of the road.
My pet peeve
What
is
if-
when
what if-
groups just hang out in the middle of the walkway. Like
Same
you
just
didn't even
move.
just stop it. Like
You're just there.
it's the
You're-
area you walk.
Like they're just
Yeah.
hanging out.
Yeah, like you don't see that there's a
Chilling.
whole bunch of traffic. There's a flow of fucking traffic that you're. What are you, a fucking beaver building a fucking dam?
Yes, they are.
They're the
Oh,
beaver family.
I'm just like, oh, the fucking beavers are here. It's insane to me. And then I found out. I think sometimes we are those people.
Occasionally, but not
I
intentionally.
just I get so mad. Like
You're not a repeat offender.
no, I mean I try not to.
Everybody, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't happened, but if I do forget to put deodorant on, I guarantee you we're gonna pull over.
We're
and
gonna
we're
buy
gonna make that stop because I cannot go to the park
Mhm.
and guys, team, family, listeners, fans, actually our fans, the usuals.
The
These
usuals.
guys are clean
regs.
AF. I know their hygiene. They
Mhm.
use deodorant. They have backup.
They
as
shower
should.
weekly.
Why?
I'm sorry.
Why?
I need a deeper swing for that one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh god.
Oh shit. What do you
There's
do?
people that are there that are like legit. You feel like, and when you're in the bathroom, you just thinking get out. Don't leave a mess. People
Oh.
work there. They're not there to clean up after you. They're there to keep it clean.
Yes.
Don't be a fucking savage.
I
When you go
take
to the
it-
bathroom, don't fucking let peace on this. Sorry. Pause.
I take it one step further. I bring my own poopery.
Oh, that's considerate of you. That's considerate.
Yeah.
That's
I
so
take
And
it-
if somebody else
considerate.
is stinky and it's not my
Mm-hmm.
stinkies, I'll spray it for the
Good
rest
for
of the
you,
world.
as you
I-
should. That is so considerate of you.
I don't go
mean,
number 2 at the parks.
I don't,
I
think
don't
enough
go
people
because I want
know
to.
of the courtesy flush.
Right.
I will
Yeah.
courtesy flush even if it's not necessary.
You know, that's interesting. There's a much different dynamic for y'all than there is for me. When we go to the bathroom, we have urinals.
Going in with you and see what the environment is like.
I'll
it
let
out.
you come
Check,
in.
check,
There are rules.
check it out.
So here are the rules. When you come in, if there are 5 urinals on the wall,
I know this. Don't tell me.
Sorry.
I got you.
okay,
Don't go into the urinal right next to me. Have some fucking respect.
correct.
Leave a space if it's empty. Or
Mhm.
two. Go to the other end.
Don't go if I'm at one end, you go to the other end. You should always leave a gap, right? Of some kind. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you gotta go, and 4 of them 5 is there. If that happens, your fucking eyes are locked forward. You should be fucking cross-eyed. There's none of the side to side. Keep your shit locked.
There's no,
Stay
like,
in your
what's
fucking
going on?
lane.
Oh, don't forget to. No, there's no.
Yeah, none of that. Mm-mm.
I don't know. The beardies share the toilet sometimes, so I don't know.
Like tandem. Like one sits down to
Isn't
pee,
that like
the other
you're
one
both
stands up to
standing?
pee.
No, they both stand up together, and they make a water fountain.
Well,
Sorry.
that's interesting. That's
That was not where I thought that was going.
two streams. They cross their Schwartzes just right around the tip
I feel
section. Okay,
Do I
interesting.
know too much about that? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Do I
feel
know
like-
too much about them?
Yeah. Well, it depends. Have you seen this firsthand?
I-
Shit,
I-
that's a yes.
whoa.
I mean,
There are
we've seen
some
them
things.
both come out the same
Right.
room.
We remember
Oh.
we used to have one bathroom and now we have two bathrooms. But when we had one bathroom, they would go in together and they would come out together.
Is that
And I
so?
asked the question because I asked questions.
Is
I
it
was
the?
like, hey, when you guys are
curious.
in there, do you take turns?
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, they're like, no,
We're
go
efficient.
together.
I'm not efficient alone. I'm gonna be honest. It takes a lot of concentration to hit the mark. That's why we have different bathrooms.
That is not why we have different bathrooms.
I
but
hear
it's-
that.
that's
I
what
hear. You know, the next maybe the one episode should be like should the toilet seat be up? Well, no, it's not.
My toilet seat's constantly up. I want to say thank you to Ashley because I noticed a couple things. When Ashley uses my bathroom in the middle of the night, not only
puts
does
the seat back up?
she puts the seat up for me.
God
And-
damn, you're so lucky.
I am,
This
yeah.
is a
And
lucky
she went.
man.
Well, it's
And
arguably
you're
it's my
married to
bathroom,
a
and
fucking saint.
she's a guest in my bathroom,
That's
which is
cute.
perfectly fine. Be a guest in
If
my
you
bathroom.
were a guest in her
Return
bathroom, you'd
things.
still leave it up.
No, I would put it if I was a guest. If I came into your house, I would return your bathroom. What I call it zeroing, right? We do this at the hotel rooms too, which ties into etiquette at the resorts. I leave the place in the way that I found it, reasonably within the way that I found it, right? So like if I came in your bathroom and the toilet seat was down, both layers, level 1 and 2 are down, right? When I'm done using it, level 1 and 2 are both back down. And if I wash my hands in your sink, when I wash my hands in your sink, I'm returning everything. Everything's dry and tidy and neat and where it's supposed to be. I haven't left a mess. There's no splatter on the mirror. There's no splatter on the floor. There's no splatter on the rim. Like it's just this. Everything is where it would be. So that way, when the next person has to come in, I'm not on my hands and knees scrubbing around, but like within reason, right? So like at the resort hotel, we go through and we make sure that did I pick up all my trash? Did I put it in a garbage can? Did we reasonably make I don't hotel make the bed, but did I throw the cover back into a relative position, right? Did I take everything, all the food out of the refrigerator and move it to a reasonable location? Are all the used linens in one place? Have I stolen the soap? Have I done
That's
everything
crazy.
I can to make it
Right.
better?
When we leave the resort, we just make it as hard for them as possible to really make them earn. I'm just kidding.
She's like, we
I'm just
smear
kidding.
shit all over the place. You didn't even know.
I
You
take the
punch
soap
holes in
and
walls.
I just push it all out and make it fall down and I'm
You
just kidding.
screw the
I'm that-
remote to the bathroom
JK.
counter.
I'm just that we're that way very much. Not only, by the way, JK about the pain in the ass. We do very much try to clean up after ourselves, even when we go out to eat.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the waiter is there to provide a service, not to be your maid. They're
Correct.
gonna make it.
You drop
easy
something on
for
the floor, you
them,
pick it up.
Right. Oh my gosh. One time, January and I were at this. It was like a crab place, and I get it. It was. We were actually in Washington State.
Mhm.
Hey, I love you. It was so
shit.
fun.
She's about to get in trouble. Look at her.
No. And that was the first time in my life I had a Bloody Mary, but I digress. It was delicious. And I also learned I never wanted that before, and I learned that they're not all created equal same day.
Oh.
Because that's what she said. And the next time I had one, she was right. Anyway, so we were eating, we ordered our food. We ordered our food, we were waiting, and we looked behind us, and this family, mom, dad, 2, maybe 3 kids, left a fucking disaster.
Ooh.
And again, it's the style where they put the paper down and you have the mallet and you hit. That's wonderful. That's
Oh.
great. There's no reason for it to be all over the floor. It was like they didn't give a fuck. They didn't even try
No.
to be. It was just really
They didn't
It-
even
it
keep it
was-
on the table.
at
Yeah.
all. It's one thing. I get it. If you spill something, you have kids. That's one thing. But no, it looks like they didn't even try to teach their children. Let's keep it on the table.
Mm-mm.
So I got a good one for going out to eat at the resorts. My favorite buffet, as we all know, is Boma. Boma's
What? Oh, I've never heard of it. Just kidding.
Blasphemy.
For those who don't know, it's the buffet at Animal Kingdom, and the breakfast buffet at Animal Kingdom is remarkable.
You mean
one of the-
Animal
it's-
Kingdom Lodge?
Yes, Animal Kingdom Lodge. Sorry, thank you.
Not the
Thank you
park.
for that. If you haven't been, go. It's mildly pricey, but it's well worth it, right?
Get your
And the way
money's
it's set up, it feels like there's one complete line, but it's not. There are stations right? And this is probably the real life example of take what you want, just don't get in anyone's way, and nobody will complain. So when people line up and they might be 25 deep at station 1, I just walk past them, grab my plate, and I think, I'm not getting anything at station 1 right now because there's 25 people in line for it. I'm going to wait till they clear through. And meanwhile, I'm going right to station 4. And then I just take what I want from station 4 because nobody's there. And I move down the line, get what I want. And by the time I'm done, then I go back to station 1. And those people have only advanced to like station 2 or something like that. But they all kind of look. And I'm like, I'll tell you, if you ask me, if you make it like, hey, these are stations, it's not one line. And it's bi-directional. Like, so like, you don't have to wait in this one. You can come with me. Follow me. I'll show you the way. Come on. But the trouble that I have is how long do I have to wait before I tell the wait staff, like, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. Just bill me later. Like, what's the etiquette there? They sat me. I gave my drink order. What do I do?
Okay.
Can I just start eating?
For the buffet?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we've acknowledged each other, I immediately go.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if you know I'm sitting here.
And January's not a buffet bitch, okay?
Yeah.
I'm
like, I'm not waiting.
She's not waiting.
I love it.
When you see me, this is where I'm sitting. Okay.
I don't even sit down.
Yeah. Like, for what?
Yeah, there's times like, yeah, for sure. Like you see, you're my guy. It's gonna be. Then thank you. I'm just gonna. Yeah. Right. No. You're waiting.
Coffee, pog juice,
we're on
water.
a schedule.
Right here. I'll be back.
Yeah.
We're on a schedule.
I love it. On a schedule. Good. How do you feel about kids running around the restaurant wild?
I mean,
I'm not for it. I mean, January's cute, and she doesn't know.
I feel like if the volume of your children is not disturbing to me,
it's not about being disturbing. It's about
and
we're
you're
at
not
a place.
in my area.
No,
you're fine.
I don't care.
But if you're in my area, tripping on my bag or bumping into my chair.
No, I don't.
What if you just have a loud kid? What if you brought a screamer? How do you feel about that? And they're not even running around; they're just stationary.
Well, if I can't carry on my conversation, it's very disturbing.
Are you mad?
I just need people to get their kids, like, get your kids under control. That's it.
I mean,
like and don't misunderstand. I get it. There's
Benadryl in their juice.
There's different situations because there are different circumstances, right? A child might have different needs, and maybe that's how they regulate, and I get that. But there's times that you, for the most part, like you can tell, like, you're it's not, you don't need the special. It's something.
You're a brat, right? You're spoiled.
Right. You're a fucking brat.
Nobody shook you to reset you like they should have.
Right.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying.
I don't really get mad at the parent. Like, sometimes it's hard to manage because, your kids are experiencing different emotions throughout the day. You're hungry, you're grouchy, you're sleepy. It happens to me as an adult. Yeah. So,
she's so
like, and the same thing for the parent, especially people who are trying to cram in an entire day and you rope drop. Like, that's a rough day
that's a mistake.
It is a mistake.
It's a huge mistake. I look at those families in the morning. When we go there in the morning, we see like
I
mom and
joy.
dad. They're so happy. I love you.
And Disney sucks the joy.
You came from my loins. You're my pride and joy. Hold my hand, baby. And then the disgust at 9 o'clock at night.
We rolled up to Universal last weekend, and it was between like 10:30 and 11. It had not. I think it was like 10:59.
It was still early for
and there was this dad that was walking a straight line. He had his young child's hand, but not like a toddler, bigger than a toddler. And he was holding his child's hand, and the child was no bones. He was full on.
Oh yeah, they were dragging. It was in the morning. He was dragging this kid.
It was 10:59 in the morning, and that kid was like, I think he was melting down, but wasn't like screaming his head off.
He was screaming at such an octave that the noise was no longer coming out. Yeah.
And it was just like, to Jonathan's point, like, you go into the park, you're super excited, you're gonna have this you're gonna have this long day, and it's gonna be hot, and maybe it'll suck, and there's always a turning point, right, where the kids turn and then the parents turn and everybody's miserable. For that family, it was at 10:59 in the morning, and we were just like, sir, your day's just starting. I don't know if you know.
I think I said that kid's not gonna make it.
Well, everybody wants to get their money's worth, especially if they're paying for a day pass. And I mean, I feel like a lot of parents are like, for the kids, and it's like, is it though? Like when they're bringing their 2-year-old, your 2-year-old's not gonna remember this in 2 weeks. So
correct.
This is for you and your memory, and it's like, it's that that, I mean, whatever, to each his own. But, here's a good question. How young is too young? Like, when you see, like, the infants and they're like, he's 2 weeks old. Like,
Yeah, that's too young. If I can still see placenta on your breath, get the fuck out.
What
Because
about
you
5
belong there.
weeks?
I've seen itty bitties there.
If you can hold your head up, and are allowed. If nobody's shamed, if I could leave you with a babysitter and go out and feel okay, then it's cool to bring you to the park. But if I have to worry about like how much noise you can sustain because you got little baby ears,
that's what I worry about too. There's
it's disgusting.
Again, I'm not a parent.
Disgusting.
I can only. I just think like if I were like I would wait at least till they're 1. And even at 1, it's still for me because they're not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think it fully depends on the temperament of the child. So, like, friends of ours.
I'm not saying don't take them. Don't say it's for them.
Oh,
Yeah. I
That-
mean, like,
right.
at
I'm
some
so
point,
sorry.
Don't
You're very
misunderstand.
right.
at some
I'm
point,
not
I'm saying don't
saying-
take them.
Right. No, okay.
Because they're
yeah.
like, because it's
Well,
like
well,
they
for-
don't deserve
for-
to be. It's not that they don't deserve
Placenta
to be
breath,
there.
don't take all day long.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like, past, even like you're like, okay, they can stay home, but I'm still gonna take them. Like I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying that just be real about it. It's not for them. It is for you. And hopefully, like if you're gonna be that person that does take them, at least you're at home teaching them and conditioning them to be in that kind of environment. So it's not overstimulating and it's not scary. And it's because all those things are factors and it can be so much for a little person who doesn't understand what's happening. And like, and even I'll never forget, there was a time, and we may have talked about it before or not, but I was waiting in line to see Buzz, Lightyear and Woody. I think they may have been together. I don't know. I could be lying. But Buzz was there for sure. And I remember because this little kid that was in front of us, he couldn't have been more than 3. And he was in his Buzz Lightyear outfit.
Aw.
Okay.
He was in his Buzz era.
He really was. And you could see that he was mesmerized. Like,
He's meeting this hero.
oh my God. It was just so freaking adorable. And again, at the end of the day, and like long term it's for you, but at that moment it was so for that kid. Like you could see like I wish that you could just like read their mind and
I
see what
love
was going on in there. Cause he's like, how is this happening? He's in real life. Like you could see the awe in him. And I thought it was fucking beautiful. It was so cute.
Oh, so proud of you.
Almost makes you want an advocate, but not that much.
Not that much.
On that note, what are our takeaways?
Be courteous. First, let's go in order. Starts at home. Check your hygiene.
Check
Bathe.
hygiene. Check.
Use deodorant. If you're one of those, there's natural deodorant.
Maybe powder
There's
up.
unscented deodorant.
Powder up. Powder up.
Have backups in the bag for when it wears out if you have on a long day. Don't be an asshole. Don't split up families. Be courteous. Say excuse me.
Respect
dirty
personal
bathrooms.
space.
Yes.
Respect personal space for the love of God.
Say,
And if you
clean
bump
up
into
after yourself.
someone, it's okay to say excuse me or I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and it's okay to say thank you. If you, as a matter of
Thank
fact,
yous are okay.
if you say
Ridiculous.
thank you or do something kind to in front of me, doesn't even have to be for me. You might just end up with a gold star. You don't know. Somebody bought 500 gold star stickers to reward strangers. So yeah, if you display good etiquette, you might get a treat from me. I carry trinkets with me to the parks all the time and try to
That's
reward
true.
kind behavior.
You know what? The next time that you have somebody be rude to you, you should be like, pick a favorite. And then when they pick, be like, this could have been yours.
It could have been yours.
None
But
for
you're
you.
a dick.
Fucking manners.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right. Normally we check the mail, but I happen to know we don't have any mail this week. If you'd like to reach out to us and give us any suggestions that you might have or any feedback or tips or criticisms, let us know. Email
Or
us.
juicy topics.
Juicy topics. You can also give us juicy topics to cover for sure. Email us at thedankpod@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe on
Share
your
it.
podcast. Yeah, share it. Sharing is
it.
caring, right? That's the biggest piece of etiquette that we could offer you is share. Yeah, some of y'all didn't learn how to share.
Except for your germs. You can keep those.
Keep your germs to yourself.
Wipe your
Wash
butt.
your
Wash
hands.
your hands.
I forgot. Almost forgot. Oh my God, I wash my fucking hands.
Anyone have anything else to add before we split?
They dank.
Stay dank.
I love it. Stay dank.
Stay there.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Dank Pod. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share wherever you listen. Send your feedback and questions to us at thedankpod@gmail.com. Join us next week when we dive into the hot topic of what Ariel might serve at a dinner party. Until next time, stay dank.